DaVinci Resolve 18.5 is in public beta right now, and it's got some exciting features. In this video, I'm gonna go through the most useful updates and features with the new update. Let's get into it. So the first update that has been anticipated for quite a while is audio transcriptions and captions. This is something that DaVinci Resolve hasn't had for quite a long time, and I'm excited that they have it now. Just a note about the audio transcribing and the captions is it's only available on the studio version, so if you're on the free version, maybe that's a reason for you to upgrade. But the thing is, audio transcribing and audio captions are actually two separate things. So let's start with audio transcribing. So if we go into our timeline here, and we're looking at this clip, if we right click and go down to transcribe audio, it's gonna take a few seconds to just go through the clip, analyze it, and then it will give us a script here of what is said in this video. And what's cool is if you look at the timeline here, wherever you click, it will move the playhead there in the viewer. Another thing that's really cool is if you highlight something, let's say we highlight to, I don't know, here, it will put an in and out point on that sections of the video. So this is a great way if you have a longer video with lots of mistakes that you can take separate parts out, and then you can take that video and put it into your timeline by sectioning it off that way. It will also recognize things like laughing, burps, stuff like that. But this is not captions. It's different from that. It's super useful. I'm excited about the feature, and I know with how often I mess up and I make mistakes when filming these videos that it's going to be super useful for me to be able to go through, use this transcription feature and find the pieces where I actually speak coherently and use that for these videos. So transcription, that's really all the transcription feature is. So it's really before the editing or to get that editing started, to get it going. Whereas captions is something that you want to wait towards the end for, because unlike transcription that affects one clip or multiple clips if you select multiple, the captions affects your entire timeline. So let's go see how to add captions. Okay, so here I have about a 10-minute long video about creativity. That video should be coming out soon for you guys to watch and enjoy. I had the opportunity to interview some people and talk about what creativity means to them. But let's go ahead and make some captions for this video. So if we jump into the editor and we go up to our timeline, because again, it affects only the timeline, not individual clips, and we go down to create subtitles from audio, and you can switch the maximum characters per line. I'm going to switch it to 60, and you can change the language, the presets, stuff like that, and we click create, and we just give it a few minutes and it will create subtitles out of our audio clips for us to use. So we'll just give this a minute. So this is taking a little bit longer because I'm also recording on OBS Studio right now, so you can see what I'm doing. But normally the captions go pretty quickly and it's pretty smooth from what I've seen so far. So let's go ahead and take a look. If we go in, we can see that captions play pretty well with the audio that we're listening to.
I really love it, and it's so cool.
However, it's not always perfect, so you can click on the captions, go into the inspector tab, and you can adjust what it says, make it exactly the way you want it, and then you can go into track, you can switch the font, you can switch anything that you want, just like a normal text layer. You can adjust with the captions and get the captions just the way that you want them to make sure they're looking good. But just like that, in just a few minutes, we have an entire 10-minute video full of captions that you don't have to do yourself, and it works better than YouTube's captions, or if you're doing it for a client or anything like that. Love that this caption feature is in there now. Again, only on Studio, which is a bit unfortunate, but that might be a reason to upgrade. Okay, so the next new effect in the new update is the relight effect. The relight effect is great because it allows for realistic highlights and realistic fall off in the shadows, and it looks really good. And let's jump in and show you how to use that. So if we go into the color tab and we just search relight effect, we can drag that onto our node here, and it pops up with the point source. There's 3 different lighting options that you can do. There's directional, point source, and spotlight. So for this specific clip that I'm using, I found that directional worked best, but you can drag it and see how the light is going to be affected in your clip. So you're adding more light here with the directional. With point source, you can move the point that the light is coming from. And with spotlight, similar, except it's a spotlight and you can adjust where that's coming from in your image. You can also adjust the brightness, the reach, the contrast, all those things to get the light just how you want it. However, one thing that's important to note, this relight map preview shows you what it's going to do to your image. But let's say I have it on directional and I want to make this side of myself brighter. If I unclick the map preview, there's no change. If I turn on and off this node, there's no change in it. And the reason why is because it doesn't actually change the light. It's just what's going to be affected when you adjust the gain and gamma. So now if I go and I increase the gain a little bit and the gamma a little bit, you can see myself now, but it's only adjusting that part that the directional relight is affecting. So if I adjust that, it's gonna adjust our image based on what we changed our gamma and gain. So the gamma and gain you have to change to actually make the relight work, or else it's not gonna do anything to your image. So I found kind of around here worked pretty good. Bring it down a little bit to right about there, and make this very dramatic clip a little less dramatic by lighting that side of my face back up, because again it's adjusting just the gamma and gain, but you use this for the accurate light fall off. It's much more precise than using a mask. If I were to try and mask out that half of my body, I wouldn't get quite as accurate as I can with this new relight feature, which is really nice. So keep in mind, it's not like actually adding light. You have to go in and adjust the gamma and gain yourself, but there's a lot of freedom that you have with adjusting it, and it's super useful. So that's the new relight effect, and I can't wait to use this in future projects. The next effect is super scale. So DaVinci Resolve has actually had super scale already, but now it's just much more accessible, more understandable, more easy to use, and it's right here in our inspector tab. So if I go to this video right here, which is in 1080p, I can then use the super scale to upscale that to 4K, which is what our timeline's in, which is what all of our other clips are in right now. So turn on super scale. It's already set to 2x enhanced, which 2x enhanced from 1080p is 4K. And you can also further adjust the sharpness and noise reduction if you'd like. Let's go ahead and take a look at this clip. So there's me standing on some rocks. So with it off, you can see the difference that makes upscaling it. And their system actually uses AI to upscale the footage. So looks really good. Some of the best upscaling that you're gonna get with the super scale. It's just right there in the inspector tab, really easy to use. Super excited about that feature. So the next feature is super simple, but something that I can't believe DaVinci Resolve hasn't had up to this point, and it's stabilizing multiple clips at once. So before, what you had to do was go into each clip, click stabilize, wait for it to finish stabilizing, move on to the next clip. Now you can do this. You can go in, highlight all the clips that you have, go to our stabilization button and stabilize, and it will stabilize all of the clips. It'll even tell you which clip it's on, how fast it's going, and can analyze and stabilize multiple clips at once. Something small, but super helpful and super useful. So the next feature that's really helpful in the new update is that when you turn on the retime curve, it will actually default to speed and not frame, which is super helpful because nobody uses retime frame. We all use retime speed. So really small and simple update, but super useful, save us time. So when we go and click retime curve, it will default to retime speed every time instead of having to go in and switch from retime frame to retime speed like in the past, which is super nice and super helpful. So super small, but something that will just speed up workflows, help it go a lot quicker and a lot easier. So there's the 5 main updates and features in DaVinci Resolve 18.5 public beta that I wanted to point out. However, I'm going to give you a few extras. There's actually a lot that went on, especially on the color page. However, I don't know as much about the color grading aspects of the color page, so I'm not going to get into any of those features, but there are a lot of changes and updates there. Also, for businesses, which is super helpful, is there's now vertical video and TikTok exporting, which is super nice. You could already do vertical video before, but they've made it easier to export into vertical video. Plus, with the smart reframing feature that they already have, it's really easy to go and do that. On top of that, there's a bunch of other small things that DaVinci Resolve added, just performance things to make it run smoother and just make it an overall better experience for the users. I hope this video was helpful for you and you're excited to go and use the new features in DaVinci Resolve and continue to learn and grow and get better at editing and enjoy the life and time saving issues that the new update has. I'm super excited about it, and if you guys have any questions about anything in DaVinci Resolve or videography related, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.